Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of Up the Waterfall. Unless you're listening later, which this might not be the latest episode. But it is the latest episode for us at this moment in time.
As of right now, yes.
On this timeline. I guess I'm in the Marvel mood after our recent viewing, which I'll get into later. Anyway, I'm your host, Zanna, and Scott Otis is over there.
Howdy, everyone.
So before we get into the meat and potatoes.
And carrots.
Replacement meat in my case.
Ah, yes.
The meat.
The meat in quotes. The impossible meat or beyond. I prefer impossible.
I like them
It's
both,
like
but I prefer
M-E-E-T.
impossible as well.
Or tofu, I guess. Tofu turns people off, but I love it. Anyway,
I like it too.
That's another podcast. I had two, what do they call it when, like, they make a mistake in the newspaper and then they have to, the editor has
Clarification or a...
to... No, that's not...
Retraction.
Retraction. Maybe that's it.
Oh, gosh.
That would be
It's
like if I
corrections.
reported something wrong,
It's
though.
a correction.
Okay. I have two corrections to make.
I mean, I have got a million of them.
Did you
so-
ever listen to Paul Harvey when you were little?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
That was
No,
a fun
seriously.
time. They
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
things like that
and that
anymore.
was the end
If
of the
you're
story.
old and listening to this,
The rest of the story.
yeah.
Absolutely. That was
And
a fun show.
he would read his copy that he wrote about whatever the weird topic was, which, I mean, it wasn't always weird, but it was like a specific thing. And he would read turn page and then turn the page.
Oh, yes.
And he had a very distinctive voice. I'm going to have to do some research on him.
But separately from that, I actually currently watch a show on YouTube called Corrections by Seth Meyers.
Oh.
Yeah.
They should add that to the Epcot
Yeah, he does-
suite of stores and
He
restaurants.
does all of his shows during the week that,
The
that you all know,
Corrections
the late
Yeah.
night show, and then after the last show, he records a corrections show.
For things that
for all
he's
of the
messed
things-
up or
no.
things that have changed.
It's kind of become an entertaining thing, but it is mainly for all of the things that he messed up
Interesting.
during his show.
Is there that
And
many
it's-
things that he
Oh
messes
yeah,
up?
no, it's an awesome show. It's Emmy nominated, in fact.
Wow, I've never heard of it before, but I don't really watch much
It's all right,
network television.
but it's called Corrections.
Okay,
is what
well,
this kind of is.
This is the Corrections Cafe. I'm naming it that now.
I love
So
that.
I anticipate there being more.
Because
Corrections
you
Cafe.
literally have a
Yeah.
coffee with you, so
Exactly at 6:05 at night.
you have coffee all the time.
I do. Caffeine has no effect on me.
Nor me.
Anyway, corrections from some number of shows ago. I was talking about Jennifer Beals
Oh,
from
Flashdance,
Flashdance.
right.
Of course, we all know Jennifer Beals. She went on to do nothing
No,
after
she's
that.
done various
I think she
things.
does like
But
Hallmark
no,
movies now.
She
Maybe.
is very much known for that role. Her
Yeah,
first,
Flashdance.
and I don't even know if it was her first role, but it was.
Who's
It's
to
the
say?
it's the role that
IMDb, I
catapulted
guess,
her
is to
into
say.
the stratosphere, but it defined her.
Yeah, for
In a
sure.
way.
And the flash dance and the off the shoulder sweatshirt and the whole thing. I won't get into it again. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. However, while you're listening to it, when I say Jessica Biel, replace in your mind that
Yeah.
name, who was probably not even born when Flashdance
She probably
came out.
was born, but very young.
Can I ask Siri how old Jessica Biel is? Hey Siri, how old is Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel is 42 years old.
She was born in 1982. So I
Right
discovered
around the same time.
So she would have been an infant,
A
I guess,
very small
because
child.
I looked up because I remember saying I was probably 12, which I was not. I was 9 when Flashdance came out. It was like July of
Wait,
1983.
And you said you stored that away in your memory.
I did.
And that's awesome.
Anyway, we're not going to get into that whole thing again. My point is, I apologize to all who saw or heard the episode and saw the reel and TikTok that we
Yeah,
made to
because
go with
we
it.
included that part on the reel.
Yeah.
in the
When I
advertising.
shared it to my story, I shared it with the correct name and I didn't even like register in my mind. And then you told me, and I thought maybe just because when you do auto captions, sometimes it will
Yeah.
just spell things wrong. And I thought that's all that you were talking about was like, oh no, the captions made it Jessica Biel. And I was like, it's fine. But then I realized, no, you're the idiot that actually said Jessica Biel.
But honestly,
to myself.
no, it proves, guess what? We're human.
We are human.
Who cares? We make mistakes. Everyone does.
Anyway, so there you go. I'm admitting my faults.
Wow.
The other issue or correction, which isn't really a correction, it's just more of an update, which I mentioned, I think, on our first show back, that I was not a fan of the tower at the Polynesian that is, I think, like almost done at this point. They just came out with the menu for whatever restaurant is going to be in there.
Yeah, they keep coming out with new things.
Yeah. So I said that I didn't care for the color paint that they were using. And I just thought it looked very basic and kind of uggo.
And you remember what I said about that?
Yeah, I know. You said to
What
just
you-
wait, and they weren't done yet. And I acknowledged that, and I agreed with that at the time. And sure enough, honestly, like pretty much right after we recorded that episode, they started doing these like stencils, for lack of a better term, just like these overlays of like Hawaiian looking, what would you call that? Not like prints, but just kind of like what they have at Aulani on the sides of the buildings. You know how there's
what
like
you mean.
one is the woman side and one is the man side. That doesn't make sense to you if you haven't been to Aulani, but yeah, they're
it's
co-ed.
a design
not co-ed.
piece on the side of the building.
Yeah, just
but on
like-
the massive tower of the Aulani.
Right.
Sure, I know what you mean.
Anyway, it's just like, you know, a little print sort of situation that
Right.
they've put over the color that I didn't care
A
for.
design element.
So yeah, I think it looks cool now. And they've also they're like the balconies are almost all done if they're not completely done. I haven't left the house in a while. But they've also added like some greenery. So it does look really good from the back.
Guess what I think about that?
What?
I still don't know because it has not opened yet.
Okay.
And so I'm waiting
You will
for
not-
the final.
What if they change it
final
again?
I know, they're
version.
going to
Remove
paint
that
over.
and make it
They're
work.
going to
Yes.
just paint it white on
Yeah.
top of the
I mean,
stencil things.
I'm glad that you owned up to that.
Thanks.
But no, but I stand by my thing where I won't really criticize anything until, and I might not criticize it at all. It might be fantastic, but I'll wait until it's released to the masses.
Okay, well, this is a show about opinions. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
not really, but
Well, that's my opinion.
okay. Chris was telling me the other day that it looks as though they're going to change the entrance to the Polynesian. Is this true?
Do you mean the Polynesian Village Resort as we know it now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or do you think the villa tower thing is going to have its own?
No,
thing?
there is a place for it to have its own entrance. It does have its own porte cochere. Similar to if you think about, for example, the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, but there's only one gate.
Well, there's only one gate there, but
In
they're
Bay
basing
Lake
it.
Tower.
They're basing it on what they kind of have at their disposal, and there really isn't a way to connect the two entrances with roads too much. So there
I guess that makes
is
sense.
a separate entrance. Although I looked at it the last time I drove past it. There is very little room for, let's say, if there were a backup of cars.
Oh, yeah.
it,
I mean,
it would
that
take maybe
area is
2 or 3 cars, and it would be backed up on the main road.
Well, I feel like that's a lot of what the construction on that road right
Yeah,
now
there
is
is a lot of
hopefully
construction.
widening the road.
Yeah, that
because
would be
they
part of it.
got rid
yes.
of all of those trees.
That's a good
and
point. So
the shades of green sign.
yeah,
and all
and they
that.
even
Like they had a
shut
lot of room
down
to push
4
shades of green back.
They shut down 4 of the holes of the Magnolia golf course, so that when you're going golfing on the Palm course, it's 18 holes, but on the Magnolia, it's only 14. And so they've adjusted the price.
I was just
thusly.
going to say, did they give you a 4-hole discount?
They do.
Wow.
But it's still very weird because all golf courses are either 9 or 18 holes for the most part, and this one is 14 currently. during this construction.
Crazy.
It's very strange.
Very crazy. I don't understand why some things just take so long.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, there's a lot of logistics, and also in this case, infrastructure.
What is
pipes underneath the ground and all that kind of thing.
Right. That's, I mean, what I thought they were doing, but I guess maybe that has to wait on permits.
Yeah, and it all has to be
stuff.
done in just the right order.
But
plus, there's a monorail that they have to deal with too.
Well, that's not going anywhere.
Well, it's not going anywhere, but they're having to work around it.
What is the key that's for show? What number is that?
Oh,
number 1, obviously.
no.
Safety is number 1, right?
It's I believe it's
2.
now 5.
Do you want to clarify
5,
what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Because-
5 I thought was the inclusion key.
No, safety is always number 1.
Right.
Then inclusion.
Oh. So then show should be 3 then.
Well, no. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe. I know efficiency is.
Courtesy and efficiency.
Yeah, courtesy, and then show.
Show is last. I mean, obviously, that was the point I was getting at. Is that like no one is paying
No, it's
attention
not
to
last.
that.
Efficiency is last.
Oh, well, that makes sense too. Then they're not being very efficient. No offense to any Disney cast members listening. I know most things are out of your hands,
Yeah.
but yeah, the show has been looking pretty bad in some places.
Ooh.
But really, it's only if you're driving back there. But I mean, it's going to the Grand
That
Floridian.
road is really absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, they have, they have what they have to work with it. The fact that road is even there, the one that connects from beyond the Grand Floridian all the way backstage, they've added that as a way to get around during the fireworks shows,
Right.
and as well as the special event fireworks shows that go all the way around.
Yeah.
So,
But they still haven't solved the problem of that stop sign when you're going toward.
but that is what they're currently working on. That's one of the things that they're working on.
How on earth are they going to?
I don't know.
They're going to have to put a light in there, I think.
Maybe.
Because-
They've added, I remember being on property when there was a grand total of 1 light.
Yes, I
and
know.
now there's, 50.
This was not what I intended to talk about. Now we're just talking about traffic backups and Disney. But if any of you are local, then you may have our same issues. There's a lot.
Probably.
This area, excuse me, this area that we live in has exploded like. What's a good example of that? You know when
What's
you
something that explodes?
well.
A firework.
No, because then it like disappears. This is like,
okay.
What are those things they used to have, like those grow a crystal things or something? And then, I don't
The
know,
ones that were featured in Horizons?
maybe I'm thinking of that. No, not those. The ones where like, oh my gosh, this is going to drive me insane now. It was like a thing from the 80s and you put them in water and then they like raised up.
Ooh.
Do you
I
have
know
any
what you
idea what
mean,
I'm
but I
talking
don't
about?
know what
It's
it's
kind
called.
of around the same time as sea monkeys, but anyway, the
But
things I remember on this show is just like.
But the point is yes, things do grow like that, but the thing is they grow and then they do the stuff in response to that.
Right.
They don't plan all of the roads and everything first.
Yeah.
The things explode and then they say, oh, I guess we should, there's a lot of traffic. We should probably try to fix that. And thus, there's a lot of issues.
Yeah.
There
I'm
are some
very
places
glad.
that are better at that than
Yeah.
here in Florida.
I'm very glad we live in the area that we live in, because if we lived on the other side, I don't know directions.
Oh my gosh.
What
no,
is that
south,
like?
the south side you're talking
South
about.
side? Interesting. But is it southwest or east?
Well, if you're talking about the United States Highway 192 traffic, or if you're talking about Interstate 4 traffic.
No, I'm talking about going into Horizon West, but
Oh my
like the
gosh.
Hamlin side of things.
Oh, yeah, that would be southwest Windermere, but also just right in the heart of the Horizon West area, or northeast west of property, of Walt Disney World property.
Okay, maybe some of you.
It doesn't
Are
help that
map
Horizon West
oriented.
is such like a nothing name. for
Yeah,
an area.
it's just like an
It
area. It's
definitely
not a
is-
town or
It
anything.
is it's a place.
But there is one road basically that goes
Yeah.
from the back of Magic Kingdom parking lot for cast members to that side of town.
Yeah. And
And-
that's
Oh, I
backed
know
up
what
pretty
you're talking about.
pretty
Yeah,
horribly.
and it's super backed up
On
all the
Reams
time
Road,
at
yeah.
like rush hour times.
From Reams to Fiquet.
Yeah, if you want to look this up on a map, if you're like,
And
if
also-
Scott was listening, he would be looking this up on a map right now.
Yeah, I always have a map.
Well, he
open.
would already know.
That's true.
But I should know.
But if we were in another town talking about specific roads, he would be like, oh, let me look that up.
I love maps.
He does.
Sue me.
I don't plan to do that. You're allowed to like maps.
No, I love maps.
Anyway,
I'm a map head.
point being, I am taking back my displeasure on the Polynesian
Forgot we
Tower.
were still in the corrections cafe.
Yeah, that's all I have for Corrections Cafe at this point. If I missed something,
I'm
I mean,
sure
I probably
I've missed
said a lot of
tons.
things wrong. I was re-listening to some of our episodes, and I really need to be better about. No, actually, it was when I was recording the voiceover things for vegan Disney food. That's what it was. I was like,
Well, I need to go back and watch them because I'm sure if I did that, I would have tons of corrections for myself.
well,
there are
no, you
things
just
that-
have the Cuban thing, which I think we already corrected.
Yeah, but there are things that I remember having said where it's not necessarily wrong, but I had opinions that I no longer feel. So,
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm a pretty casual person. So recently I had to do voiceover stuff because my microphone wasn't working, which I think I did mention on another
oh,
episode.
that's right. I remember.
For vegan Disney food. And I was a little too casual, I think, in that recording. I was just like, oh, this is, I think this was here last year. I don't remember. Because I feel like everyone that's listening is, just a friend listening and
Right.
not someone that's like, but how much was it? Because I don't usually do prices because they can change anytime. And
That's true.
I just want people to know. And also, like, if it's an outrageous sum, I will try to remember the price or mention it, which I think I did on some things. Because when it's not a Disney specific price, like when it's a third party thing, they tend to be more expensive.
These days, what's not an outrageous sum? Am
Well,
I right?
for
Up top.
most of the vegan options for the festival of the holidays, I was just going to say the festival.
It's always a festival.
I know. They're pretty, manageable prices, but then some of them were not. But I didn't know the exact figures.
It's $7.25.
So
And
maybe I should be
3/4.
less casual. I don't know. Let me know.
No, I think you should be you. And that sounds like you.
Okay.
That's my
I
opinion.
need to be an informative source for all Disney news.
Nobody
for
comes
people.
there for prices.
Okay. Well, what else did we want to discuss that's new and exciting?
Well,
that's
actually,
not
I have
corrections?
something. Recently, Disneyland, one of our favorite locations, they released a guide to the 70th anniversary, which, as you know, is coming up.
Wow. It seems like just yesterday it was the 60th.
Well, more closer to yesterday was the 65th.
I don't
But
remember
yeah.
anything about
And then
that
also
one.
the road to the 70th.
Well, they have you remember when we were at the D23 Expo, which is what I will call it, when they were talking about having the 70th anniversary at Epcot.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, did I say Epcot?
You did
Wow.
say Epcot.
Well, that'll be later. Now this is
Wow.
for Disney.
What are we up to for Epcot?
Oh my gosh, 40 something.
42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the 70th of Disneyland, which, as you know, will be July 17th, 2025. But anyway, so they were saying that the celebration will begin on May 16th of 2025 and run through the summer of 2026.
Wow.
So, and the fact that it says it's through summer, who knows when the end date of that? I guess they kind of just peter out eventually, right? But it will.
The 50th at Walt Disney World is still going on.
That's true.
The Pink Castle.
And with our license plate. But anyway, it will honor 7 decades of happiness and many moments of joy in the making. and you'll get to celebrate happy, and that's kind of their theme is celebrate happy.
Hashtag celebrate happy.
With limited time entertainment, colorful decor, themed food and beverages, of course, and of course collectible merchandise
Isn't
and a
it
lot
funny
more.
that's
always the thing.
The leading update is
Pretty much.
food and merchandise.
Well, let me
Not
tell.
anything. To
No,
do
no,
with,
no,
like,
no.
attractions. Or
Yeah.
No, okay,
well, that's what
here's
people
your
got so mad
attractions.
about for the 50th.
Yeah, they are doing a few of the attractions, but here's the headliners is they're changing the world of color to the world of color happiness with an exclamation point because they do that.
That does not roll.
The way
off
you
the
said
tongue.
that made it really weird.
World of Color Happiness, which will debut at California Adventure.
I'm making
And this
a
is
face.
all based around the Jon Favreau character from the Marvel movies.
Oh wow, interesting.
Wait,
Yes. Happy,
Oh,
but not Happy Gilmore. That's a different.
oh
thing.
no, that's different. Happy. Wow.
Can I see what that looks like? World of Color Happiness. I want to see it written out.
Oh,
World of Color
colon,
Happiness.
no,
There's no colon, just an
World of Color
exclamation point.
Happiness. Anyway,
That's weird.
That is weird.
Disney
That
and
would
they're
not have
naming
flown
it.
with me.
They're naming. What is that called?
Convention.
Convention.
but anyway, here's where they get the happiness from. To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
That's Happy Place. World of Color Happy Place would have been
That's
better
right.
than Happiness, in
Well,
my opinion.
Anyway, this nighttime spectacular will explore happy through a kaleidoscope of emotions. It will be hosted by joy and
I was
other
just gonna say, oh,
emotions
here comes the Inside
from
Out.
the hit Pixar Animation Studios film Inside Out and Inside Out 2, which it broke all the records.
Remember
in
the
Inside Out
Disneyland
2.
anxiety era? Let's celebrate.
I don't think they're going to do it that. I think they're going to emphasize joy.
The ennui emotion.
No. But they'll find some way to include all
I've
of the
been rendered
emotions, I'm
speechless.
sure. It will include such lovely Disney films as Turning Red, a Goofy Movie,
go.
Tangled, The Lion King, and many, many more. Yeah,
Interesting lineup.
that's the ones that they chose to feature.
Right.
Okay, so that's the one at California Adventure. But here's the big one, or a big one, is that we learned that Paint the Night would be returning. Remember Paint the Night Parade?
Yes. Are they going to add a new float or anything?
No.
Paint the night happiness.
Paint the Night is a happy parade.
Honestly, that
all on its
sounds
own.
better. Paint the Night Happiness.
It's called Paint the Night.
It sounds weird either way. Okay.
But no, that's just returning. But they gave a date of its return, which is when that all is coming on May 16th. May 16th. Paint the Night comes back.
That's when the, what do you call that other one? Main Street Electrical Parade came back. We went in May.
Oh, that's right.
I think it was May 16th. Then also. But that was like 2 years ago or something.
So yeah, so Mickey Mouse uses his vivid imagination to harness the power of Tinkerbell's pixie dust and paint the night in Disney dreams, bringing to light beloved characters and stories from Pixar. No, what was funny about that is you remember the lead float from Paint the Night that
Yeah.
has
Mickey with the little...
no with Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell on a stick.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of and.
I didn't realize that was the first one. I was
Yeah.
thinking of the weird mesmerizing Mickey.
The first
Oh,
one in my
no.
head is the truck.
That one, the mesmerizing one, that's in the middle. That still gets me to this day.
Yeah.
I love that.
Scott loves a good
very
optical
mesmerizing.
illusion.
It's more like a.
I kind
like
of
an
want to
Escher.
read this description in a sinister voice.
Oh, you want to?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. But
You can read it. in
you
your
said
head.
harnessing the power of pixie dust.
Well,
it
if
can
you
be
think
read
about
in
that,
a totally different way.
if you think about what Mickey Mouse does in Fantasmic, he harnesses powers there, but those are the powers of evil from nightmares and turns them into happiness.
Some
Or
imagination.
some imagination, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're not talking about Fantasmic here.
No.
But there is another thing. The Wondrous Journeys is coming back.
Wait, What is that? And where has it been?
It was at Disneyland. It was a nighttime spectacular.
Does
That's-
that mean fireworks?
Well, here's the thing about that. Okay, throughout the show, you embark on a journey filled with artistry, music, storytelling, and heart as you experience the moments from beloved stories such as Hercules,
Oh,
The
is this
Princess and the Forg.
a projection show?
Exactly. Peter Pan, Frozen, Big Hero 6, Moana, and Encanto, and more. But wait, the thing about what you said with fireworks.
I will not wait.
No, you have to wait because the show does feature state-of-the-art projection effects that transform Main Street, USA, and Sleeping Beauty Castle, and It's a Small World, and the Rivers of America. But here's the fun line. On select nights, the show will be enhanced with fireworks.
They have to say that because of the winds.
Oh, that's right. But it sounds like it's mainly the projection show.
Yeah.
And then if we feel like it, we'll throw fireworks.
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
But I think
They don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
that's right. But I think mostly it comes with fireworks. But it's a fun show. We've seen it.
It's only mostly fireworks. I have no memory of that.
But I think you probably remember it from the projections on Main Street and how guests would collect on
I think
Main
I
Street,
only
USA
saw
there.
the Mickey Mix one, didn't I? I don't know.
They kind of run into each other.
I'd have to look on my phone, I guess, maybe.
I think we have seen it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's that. Additionally, the Better Together, a Pixar Palace celebration, ! Parade comes back to California Adventure.
Can I clarify that this is better together and not better zoo-gether?
No, this one actually does say, oh wait, no, it's together.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Do you want to clarify? Or have we
Oh,
done
no,
that before?
I did that on the first episode too, I think.
That's true. I remember that. This one also has, this one's very exclusively Pixar. Luca, Turning Red, Up, and more. But I think, see, here's the thing.
Oh, yes, they did that briefly the end of the summer, I think.
That is correct. So,
That's a fun thing. 'Cause
yes, it
they
is.
have like walk around characters. Not that they're walking around. They're walking around on a float of Luca and
Oh, that's right.
no wait. Yeah, Luca and my God, what's the friend's name?
Luca's friend.
No one knows.
I could find it
No
out.
one watched that movie.
No, I did.
No.
It was cute.
Luca was great. Except I haven't seen it yet.
All I can remember is Silencio Bruno, and that's not his name.
It's Bruno. That's
no,
his
that's
name.
his. That's the thing he says.
Bruno is from Encanto.
And what's the cat's name?
Oh, gosh.
Machiavelli.
Now I have to. That's right.
And then there's a girl.
Okay, here it is.
I can't remember the girl's name. Wow, you're consulting
There's
Magic Kingdoms.
Alberto
Alberto.
and Luca. The girl's name is Giulia,
Ah, yes.
but spelled Giulia.
Yes.
Julia. And then there's, of course, Ercole.
I think they called him Ercole.
Ercole, sorry. And, of course, the cat, yes. Machiavelli.
Fun.
But anyway, so so if you think about that, they have the return of the parade, the return of the fireworks, and the projection show. So there's and the return of Paint the Night. So there's not really a lot that's new,
Right.
except for the new version of World of Color. But of course, they always say that more magical touches and things like that will be announced later.
I hope there is some sort of a retrospective / gallery showing of like the history of Disneyland for the past 70 years.
Yeah, that's
that
the
would
thing.
be cool.
Is historical things are awesome.
But
because
actually, by then, will
by the actual
the Walt Disney animatronic be done?
I don't. That has not been announced. it should be said that, of course, Mickey, Minnie, and their pals will come. They will have a new look as well. They will debut. There's also a new character cavalcade. Mickey and Friends Celebrate Happy! Exclamation point. That is the name of the cavalcade. Mickey and Friends Celebrate Happy.
You know what would be interesting is if they let Mickey and Minnie and all of the characters that come out just wear whatever they wanted to wear. Not like, their own
like
clothes or
sweatpants?
something. No. I just mean
All fun and games until Goofy comes out with no clothes on.
that would be very funny, actually.
Donald is already half that way, right?
Just of the clothes that have existed over time
Oh,
that are
yes.
in the little dressing room area. So like they're not necessarily matching each other. It's just like, hey, this is what Mickey felt like wearing today.
Like it would be a 60s Donald with a 90s Goofy.
Yeah.
And maybe a 40s Mickey and Minnie from the 70s.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Guys, how on Instagram
That would be awesome.
of you to say this?
I
That
think
is
it would
so
be
not
more
funny.
Instagram worthy because everyone would want to be there every day to see what
because
they're going to wear.
it would be a different
So that's
combo
probably why they
every day.
couldn't do it because they couldn't handle the crowds. My ideas are too popular.
I love it. Okay, here's more.
Oh my gosh, there's more.
There's actually a little bit more. In the evenings at California Adventure, the exterior of Carthay Circle Restaurant will invite everyone to, quote unquote, celebrate happy during a special moment filled with music, lights, and projection effects. So similar to how they light it all up for
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie Bash, they're going to do that all the time for this Celebrate Happy. And then at Disneyland, the facade of It's a Small World will also get a new projection show that will celebrate happy. What are your thoughts on this?
Yay, projection shows.
Well, here's the thing. During Oogie Boogie Nights, or Oogie Boogie Bash,
Wow.
but wait, but not even
You're gonna
during
have
the
to go
party,
into
but
corrections.
hold up. Not even during the party of Oogie Boogie Bash, but nights of Oogie Boogie that are not part of the party, it's all lit up. And we saw that most recently. And I love that. Remember how all the trees were purple and everything?
Yeah.
And it was all themed.
No, I
So
know.
I'm sure that they can make it all look very nice and fun with this Celebrate Happy.
Interesting. Well,
So there's that.
I will say that, a Halloween themed moment is a lot different than celebrating 70
That is
years
true.
of America's first theme park. Is it its first theme park? No, Knott's Berry Farm is, right?
No.
Oh. What's the first
That-
theme park?
I will tell you what the first theme park
Oh
is.
my gosh. A new tangent.
No, it's not. It's Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
See, Knott's Berry
They
Farm.
got to be the first by changing the name to theme
No,
park.
Knott's Berry Farm, they've kind of retconned that. Yes, the farm existed longer than Disneyland's been around, but it was not a theme park. They didn't,
Interesting.
until after Disneyland opened. Yet Knott's Berry Farm developed and grew, absolutely, but I would say, in my opinion, it was not really a theme park until after Disneyland opened. But they claimed that it was. So, but that's just me.
Did you see the picture of Mickey and Minnie's outfits
I
for the
did.
70th?
What are your thoughts? This one right here?
Very 2010s for Minnie, in my opinion. She looks like she's doing a Run Disney race.
She has a very floofy skirt.
Yeah, but I do like the color combos. It's very 80s.
Look at
though.
Mickey's jacket, how it's
Yeah, I don't like that.
extended long on the left side when you're facing it.
Not a
and
fan.
regular sized on the right side. Very interesting.
Yeah. Disney has been doing that a lot lately when they come up with those like unisex style costumes.
Yes.
They do that sort of a thing where like,
They
is
do
it a
it,
jacket? Is it a dress?
but in
Who
addition to
knows?
that, yeah, when new areas have new costumes, they've made it so that any cast member can choose any combination, and there's a lot of combinations to choose from. Just however it makes them feel.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's
they
fine.
can,
Oh,
you know,
wait.
so there's a lot of
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, wait, what?
I am seeing that they have announced when Walt's Journey or whatever, Walt Disney A
this
Magical
is
Life
news to me. I can't wait to
will
hear it.
debut at the Main Street Opera House Theater at Disneyland on May 16th.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I? Okay, well, let me just say that the announcement that I was reading from didn't include this.
Well,
We'll be taking you to the Corrections Cafe next week.
That's
Yeah.
fair. No, that's awesome. Okay, so that's the big day.
Yeah.
Is May 16th is when all of this, because that's like the return of Paint the Night and all of these other things. May 16th. And that will
Why
be
May
there
16th?
too?
That's not actually the anniversary, right?
no, it's
no.
a month early because they're trying to get people to go.
It's ramping up.
So it's not everyone being there on the actual anniversary,
Which is
in my
July
opinion.
17th. Yeah, you don't want any, and that's also, you don't want to start something right in the middle of summer.
I guess.
Do it right at the beginning of summer and then kind of have all of the excitement during the summer.
A new song will be featured in several entertainment offerings called Celebrate Happy. So can't wait to hear that.
Can you imagine that Celebrate Happy seems to be the theme? I wonder if, just like, remember the 50th anniversary, where on May 5th, they had Leanne Rimes come and sing the song for Disneyland's 50th. Maybe she'll come back and
Maybe.
do that.
Probably be
for
Jordan
Celebrate
Sparks.
Happy.
Or the other guy that loves Disney.
There's a lot of them.
I always forget his name.
Bad Bunny?
No. He got like engaged and married at Disney.
Derek Huff?
No.
Oh, I don't think I know who you're talking about anymore.
Oh my gosh. He was in the Four Town People, one of the singers in that with Phineas. What's his name?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
It starts with a J.
Yeah, it starts with a J. Don't make me look it up. I don't want to.
Jordan Knight?
No. That's from New Kids on the Block.
Well, I don't know. You said Jay. Well, and so in addition to all of this, Disneyland released their event calendar for the entire year. And a lot of it is the usual thing. You know, the Seasons of the Force and their Food and Wine Festival, their Halloween time, their holidays, and
I didn't know that
Plaza de la Familia.
Seasons of the Force was like a thing.
It has since become a thing. That'll take place from March 28th through May 11th. But in addition, they released all of the dates for the Oogie Boogie Nights, and there are a lot of them, and it's a lot earlier. It starts August 17th, and there's like...
It starts before Halloween time starts. It's true. Look at the
I'm
dates.
surprised that it doesn't, and I say this, it doesn't yet start before July 4th. It only starts August 17th.
I mean, I think our Not So Scary starts like the first week in August,
It's
right?
ridiculous.
Like the 6th or 7th or something.
And it's just going to get earlier. It'll probably in the future start like the day after Easter or something like that. But of course, they've also released dates for their Disneyland After Dark special, separately ticketed events.
Yeah.
Like Sweethearts Night,
I would like to go to one of those.
90s Night, Star Wars Night, and Pride Night as well. So those are fun.
Very fun.
So yeah, that's what I have.
Did you see there was 3 new lion friends
What do you mean
at
by that?
Kilimanjaro Safaris?
Yes,
Safari single?
I have heard. I've heard this, but I haven't seen photos. Do you have them?
Yeah. They're pretty cute.
They look like lions.
Have you heard about?
Nima, Zahara, and Mshango.
Ooh, I like that. Have you seen how they're also doing Tiger Tuesdays?
No.
Because you've. Oh my gosh,
Half
I love
price
that.
entry for tigers.
No. They've added.
Everyone gets a tiger?
No, there are new tiger cubs.
What?
There.
No
But
one
Only on
told me.
Tuesdays.
No, on Tuesdays they release like a live feed of these little tiger
my
cubs,
gosh.
and it's just like ridiculously cute.
Well,
Can you
these lions are
imagine?
pretty cute.
You should
I really
look
wanna
up
hug them.
tiger cubs.
I will
Tiger
do this
Tuesdays for animal
in a
cubs.
Are
minute.
tigers cuter than lions?
No, in my opinion, yes, tigers
Yeah,
are cuter
tigers,
than
baby tigers are cute. Well, actually, grown-up tigers are
I think
cuter.
tigers are just way cooler of an animal.
Yeah,
to
like they're stripy.
I love lions, but tigers.
Tigers have like cool
Tigers are the
faces
best.
with like whiskers and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, look up Tiger Tuesdays.
I will in a second, but I have more things to
This
tell
is-
you. Because when you were telling me all this stuff, I had to look things up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the Season of the Force thing, I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought there was just Star Wars nights, but I guess
They
it's-
also have Star Wars nights, and I think they probably all fall within that season, which is about 2 months from March to May.
March 28th to May 11th. But they have Fire of the Rising Moons. Like, that sounds cool.
What
just
is
by
that?
itself. It's in Galaxy's Edge, and it'll feature new projection effects, and Hyperspace Mountain also returns. So
I
that's
like
cool.
that.
We don't have anything like that here.
No, we do not.
Additionally, the last date for guests to ride the red car trolley is
that's
February 8th, 2025.
On our most recent trip, we definitely took advantage. I mean, we always ride that anyway.
We do.
But we made sure to ride it like, what do we do? Like 3 different laps back and forth until they said, all right.
Here's the thing, though.
We're done for the day.
An update to that.
What's that?
They do plan to have one trolley parked on Buena Vista Street, which we were talking about. I don't
Yeah.
think we talked about it on here, but together to each other. They're going to have that out so you can take photos and
I
enjoy
love
the
that.
trolley. So
That's awesome.
yeah. Better than throwing them all in the dumpster.
Absolutely. I mean, it really is fun. Do you remember that day, maybe 7 years ago or something like that, where we spent an entire day at California Adventure, and at the end of it all, we had only ridden one ride, and it was Red Car Trolley. Do you remember that day? Mm-hmm. That was an awesome day.
It was.
That was a good day. But anyway, it really is fun to ride that around. So I will miss that. But it's good that they'll at least have one around. Because honestly, it just looks so good on Buena Vista Street, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then also just the sounds of the clanging of the bell and the what's the horn? The toot toot. Yeah.
I don't know.
It,
I haven't
it
practiced
really,
my trolley
they
toot.
definitely needed to keep it in some form, and so I'm really glad to hear that. I actually had not heard that before.
Not to be outdone,
Oh my!
because we're an equal theme park opportunity show.
Is this a Disney World update?
No. Universal released their 2025 event guide.
Oh
So
my.
if you're listening and you're a Universal person, they're doing some interesting things.
They're doing
like
Harry Potter happy.
yes, Harry Potter happiness.
'Cause-
Past member bonus benefits, past member exclusives. Like they have past member things so often
when
in
you
Universal.
said past, I thought you said cast member, and that seemed.
No.
I thought they're called team members.
They
there.
are called team members because everyone's part of the team. Cast member was already taken.
So past member.
Yes. I'm not going to go through all of them because there are, like I said, a lot of, they do past member appreciation days. They do
we've been to
past
one or two of
member
those.
park takeovers.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, past member collectible giveaway. And they're always doing a magnet and a button like every month, whereas Disney just does it randomly. But they also are saying that butterbeer season is happening from March 1st to May 31st.
To me, butterbeer season is from January 1st to December 31st.
I agree with that statement. So I'm interested to see what that entails. Probably
Yeah, that's weird.
candy and snacks that I can't eat.
Yeah,
But
I'm
we'll see.
okay with
There's
just
also
having
a
the frozen one.
in quotes new summer event.
Ooh.
Yes, I did do air quotes, even though none of you can see me right
Oh,
now.
I saw you.
June 14th to August 10th. So that'll be interesting to see.
knows what
and
that
I think
means?
they're doing a lot of this because obviously Epic Universe will be opening, but they're trying to say like, hey, these parks are still going to have
Well,
fun
the way
stuff
that
going
they've
on.
done their ticketing is people won't just be able to go to this new park just anytime they want.
Right.
So I think they're set that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like annual or whatever their pass holders are called,
Annual pass holders.
pass holders won't be able to just simply, oh, I have an annual pass, so I can go to Epic Universe anytime I want. Nope. That's not the way it is.
I actually got a survey, which I don't think I can talk about. I was sworn to confidentiality. But they...
Are you going to talk about it?
Well, I wouldn't have remembered the specifics anyway. You know me. But it was basically so many different combinations of like, would you do this with this ticket combination? What if we gave you this benefit with this thing? Like if you got free valet parking, but these two parks only, would you pay this amount or would you pay this amount kind of thing? And it was so many, I should have taken screenshots for at least just you to see it. Sorry, Universal. But yeah, it was just like very interesting. And I tried to choose the most equitable and sane choices for everything because like you and I probably would not normally care about valet parking, but we would want free parking to be included, and we wouldn't need Volcano Bay to be included as part of everything, but we would want other stuff. I don't know,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I understand. And eventually it'll get to the point where it'll be equal status with the other two, and then people will just be able to go. Because honestly, the two existing parks, I think there's plenty there at each one, and still fun and new things going on to the point of, I want to go. I don't only want to go and see this new thing, but of course it's the first new park in the area since Islands of Adventure and Animal Kingdom happened in I think 99 and 98. So and of course these are the first parks. This will be the first park to open in the era of social media. So that's going to be a big part, as you know.
Interesting.
That is interesting. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that every now and again. That like realistically in my lifetime I have not seen this happen.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the opening of the individual Harry Potter lands, which, had like 10, you were talking about it last time or a couple of times ago. 10-hour waits. And that was just a single land within this parks. And of course, they were, amazing lands. But this is now a whole theme park. And now, things, we've talked about how things have been kind of, quote unquote, ruined by Instagram. You could say national parks, for example. Here we are, a whole brand new park.
Yeah. I mean, right now I've been like, I never used to be a YouTube person. And then my children would put on YouTube, and that's the only time I would ever see things. But now, after several years of that happening, I put on YouTube videos in the background while I'm working or something like that.
I'm the only one that has been immune from all of that.
Well, you watch
for the most part.
one person.
I mean.
But it's very funny to me. And there's way more people out there doing this than what I see come into my suggested things or whatever. But it's very funny to me to see everyone does the same thing for the most part. And that's the way it's going to be for Epic Universe opening. Everyone's going to be there doing the same thing.
They all got their tickets. They're going to go there and they're going to record everything.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because there are people that don't come here every day and they get attached to
their favorites,
the personality more than the information being shared, honestly.
Sure.
Because there's different ways people do it. There's people that are very serious and just report the news. There's people that love everything. There's people that may not have all their facts right, but they have silly personalities that people enjoy watching.
People probably do nothing but complain about all the mistakes and, and
definitely
the bad things about everything.
Exactly. So it's just funny to me to imagine all of that descending onto
one place at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be nuts.
It will be crazy.
But that's the thing, though, is none of them will just be able to just go at any time that they want.
Right.
They'll have to, buy a separate ticket. There's no annual pass for this new park.
Right. Well, a lot of
Yet.
them will be invited probably before the park even opens. So,
I suppose.
but
but you know what I mean.
Yes.
There's not going to be a constant
Right.
thing unless they have the funds to get never-ending.
many of them
ticket
do,
purchases.
and
Yeah,
that's,
that's true.
what we saw happen during the right after the pandemic. Can I even say that word? I don't even know.
Sure, you can.
You can't talk about it on Instagram still, I don't think. Maybe you can. I don't know.
This
Anyway,
ain't Instagram.
when Disneyland reopened, because they weren't selling annual passes
Oh, yeah,
beforehand
that's
or
right.
something, so people were literally having to buy
Yeah.
actual tickets, like one-day tickets or something like that. I forget
Yeah.
how the thing was, but they were not happy about that.
Well, but that's the way it was.
Yeah,
So that'll definitely be an interesting little
it will be.
portion about that, is to see how that plays out.
There were some other recent updates that I wanted to go over quickly just because we hadn't discussed them. And we had talked about the former Little Mermaid show.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at one point they said they were redoing that show. But
Yep.
is the new Villains show going to go into that spot?
No. The new villain show is going to where the Lightning McQueen
Oh.
is now.
Okay. I didn't
and
realize
that, in it, the villain show itself will be temporary. And I'm guessing that it eventually will be replaced by a more family-friendly and more inclusive Muppets attraction. This has not been announced. This is all speculation because of the proximity to the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Or the new Muppets coaster that'll go in, because we talked about it a time or two ago about how not everyone will be able to ride the Muppets coaster
Right.
that's taking over what is now Rock and Roller Coaster. They'll probably take, once that villain show plays out, they'll probably replace that with a more family-friendly and inclusive version of some Muppet thing there. Would be my guess.
You heard it here first, folks.
I've heard it in other locations too. So, I mean, I'm not the first person to think that.
Okay.
But that would be that stands to reason. Mm-hmm. And they also have room back there where they could even build more. They could build a restaurant or other things. So
It's true.
maybe even a theater for the Muppet Vision 3D. I don't know.
Maybe they can just they can get Wayne Zielinski to shrink the Muppet Theater.
Yes.
And we just carry it over to the new location and then unshrink it.
I love
Blow it
that
up.
machine when it works.
The name of the villain show is Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After. They're doing away with the colon.
There's often colons.
You wanted to put it in there, Chris, when we were talking about whatever the name of something was, the World of Color thing, I think. But they are getting rid of them. But they're still silly names.
I mean,
in
there's
my opinion.
often colons, semicolons, exclamation marks or points, italics, bold, and things like this in the nomenclature of attractions, and it's kind of funny.
Well, that's what that is called,
was
and it's
there
coming out in next summer.
And it's interesting that is meant to be it's not a permanent attraction.
They didn't say anything. Well, this was an announcement made on the Wonderful World of Disney Holiday
I think
Spectacular.
I had seen
I haven't
somewhere
watched that yet.
that it's not going to be permanent.
Interesting.
Because, as I said,
I would think nothing in that space would be, because it was a very temporary space to begin with.
well, they made it kind of permanent-ish. So,
The full name of the Magic Kingdom Nighttime Parade is revealed to be Disney Starlight, I spoke too soon, another corrections for me, Dream the Night Away.
and this is awesome because we haven't had a nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom in quite a spell.
Yeah.
So this will be a fun return. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the traffic flow. I mean, Disneyland has had so much practice with that, but Disney World is such a busy place, and to have a nighttime parade there, that'll be interesting. But I mean, they have practice with the daytime parades.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I look forward to it.
Yeah, it definitely is more crowdeder than it used to be. Okay. The dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom Park will remain open through 2025 and close at some point in 2026.
Yeah, so a lot of people are happy about this because it allows them to be able to ride it more and more. But I don't know. I was kind of, I was okay with it going away eventually, because last time I rode it, it has seen better days. You haven't ridden it at all, so you probably wouldn't know.
No.
You've ridden it once.
I've ridden it more than once with little Henry, who loves it. I think I rode it 2 times in a row with him, didn't we?
No. Dinosaur?
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe. Okay. I thought that was one of the ones that you couldn't ride very much.
No, I'm fine with that.
But anyway, my point is that it did not look good the last time. There's a couple of dinosaurs that aren't working the way that they were meant to.
Yes, that is true.
There's a lot of flashing lights, etc. So because it's on its last legs, I'm guessing that maintenance will not be called in to do many repairs other than what is necessary.
Refilling the mustard and ketchup tubes, hopefully.
That's right. So I'm guessing that since they've kind of prolonged the closing of that, is that it'll really start.
They're just
showing
letting it run into the ground.
Maybe, but also I'm guessing that they'll want the Indiana Jones replacement. As well as the Encanto attraction. I'm guessing that they'll probably want to open all of that, the entire land, all together. Because if you think about how they, like Galaxy's Edge, when that opened, they did one attraction at a time. And that wasn't necessarily the best way to do it. I'm guessing, and I could be wrong, that they would want to open up this land all at once. And the Encanto attraction, since it's brand new and it's all from scratch, it'll probably take longer. And that'll be going where the Chester and Hester's area is, as well as the where Primeval Whirl was. That's kind of where the Encanto attraction is going. But that the dinosaur attraction, it's going to be the same layout, the same track. They're just going to have to haul out the big dinosaurs and haul in the mine cars or whatever for Indiana Jones. And I imagine because of all that, it won't take as long to get that attraction ready. Because the other one, as I said, is being built from scratch. So I'm guessing they'll want to build it all together or open it all together. And as a result, them delaying the closure of the dinosaur will make it so that it'll be more of a time crunch for them to open up that Indiana Jones ride.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's just a thought.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to open it all at the same time, but
okay. Because there's also a carousel attraction being built as well, but
they can do that whenever.
Exactly. I think they've gotten the carousel technology down pretty well.
Some other little updates. The Spaceship Earth Lounge at Epcot and the Pirates of the Caribbean inspired tavern at the Magic Kingdom had opening timeline-ish things. Late spring 2025 for the Spaceship Earth Lounge and late 2025 for the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
Both of these are interesting.
They don't look very... Well, the Spaceship Earth one could probably fit... It looks bigger than, like, Oga's Cantina. But the views in that thing are going to make it be, like, crazy people wanting to go in there at night and watch the fireworks.
I mean, we've been up there before in that space.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it does have a really nice view. And given that it's in Epcot, a place where people are already able to imbibe, plus, as we mentioned earlier, the Instagram nature of it all. Yeah, it's going to be popular.
Hopefully they have like I mean, they do kick you out of Oga's if you've been there too long. That's still a thing, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
And
Oga's, they're very weird about that. I actually went there on our most recent trip to Disneyland with my buddy Keith.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird because they had we were quote unquote seated at a standing table, but it was, there were just the two of us, but we were we took up maybe a third of this one standing table because they stood other parties at the same table, and it was very awkward because it was, it was filling up. So yeah, I would imagine there will be limited amount of time that people will be able to go, but they'll be there long enough to be able to take their photographs and post them and all of that. But then again, you were talking about the Pirates one. Were there additional dates or things for that?
Late 2025.
Okay. That's a whole other thing because that's alcohol at Magic Kingdom, which, yes, they do now have at Be Our Guest restaurant, as well as
Skipper
Canteen, and also in the castle.
Oh, yes. Do they have it at Tony's, though, also?
Maybe. I'll bet they do.
A nice
and
red
of course,
wine with your meatballs?
And that's the thing. Yeah, they're adding it to the full-service restaurants, but here this is going to be the first lounge. And, nobody's going to be able to leave the lounge with that.
Right.
But is this a slippery slope?
I don't think it is. In the Magic Kingdom just doesn't have the same lure, if you will, that Epcot does. Epcot has,
true.
over the past 20 years, really let itself be turned into drinking around the world.
That is very much true. But hear me out on this. Magic Kingdom is the most popular park in the world.
Right.
And people do go there because it's the most popular. And right now, other than those places that, where you can get a drink with dinner, there's no place to drink for those that do. Mm-hmm. And so this lounge will be the only place where a person will be able to casually go and get something.
Right. But we don't know anything about the menu or, stuff like... I feel like it's going to be like $25 a drink and no one is going to be like, yeah, let's pound them.
That's true.
So,
but I'm wondering if this is a slippery slope that will, let's say, 15 years down the line, lead to the outdoor vending locations just selling cans of beer for people to walk around the park.
Yeah, I know. That is your
what a crime.
Greatest fear.
Well, it's not a crime, but it was initially intended for Magic Kingdom to be alcohol-free, for Disneyland to be alcohol-free.
I agree.
And I'm just saying... they started with you can get wine at the Be Our Guest restaurant.
Yeah.
And now it's slowly evolving.
As is every other aspect of the parks for the most part. So
I'm a traditionalist.
I know you are, and you are a teetotaler as well.
That is true.
We can call you straight edge.
Tattoos and long hair next as well.
Well, yeah, obviously they've let that expand as well. So I don't think it's going to be an issue because of the pricing and because Magic Kingdom has established itself as a different vibe, if you will, than Epcot. But, we'll see what happens. But I think for me personally, there's a lot more things that concern me other than that.
Sorry,
that has changed.
That was my traditionalist.
No, you're allowed to have your opinions. I'm sure there's many people that agree with you that are listening.
There's probably 12.
Far be it from Disney to, in 2024, make changes to accept more dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
people
That's
can
the
make it
thing,
work.
is it's all about
and that's the point. Yeah.
the mighty dollar. One other update, oh no, two, I guess, before we wrap it up tonight. And that is that Test Track will reopen in late summer 2025,
Interesting.
which isn't too far away, less than a year.
That's true. I've seen backstage what all of the construction and work that they've done.
Yeah.
It is pretty extensive. I'm anticipating the reopening of that.
They will be testing
The
the track, if you will, visibly early next year. So
Interesting.
that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, that will be fun.
If we were doing the races in January or February, maybe we'd see cars zooming around.
Yeah, because
But
you
we
used to
won't.
race. The races would actually go underneath
Yeah.
the test track.
Yes. That was always my favorite part, when you would go through there at the end. And if people were still going into Epcot that way, then I knew I was not going to get swept and everything
That's
would
true.
be fine.
I would not call that my favorite part of the race, but that's
Well, you know. The last thing I need to update is that the 4D production Zootopia : Better Zoogether!
make sure you say that
Exclamation
right.
point will debut in winter 2025 at the Tree of Life Theater in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
I love Zootopia.
And Zootopia 2 will be released in theaters on November 26, 2025. So that aligns.
Ooh, maybe there will be more gazelle.
It's tough to be a zoo.
And her little tiger dancers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many effects are kept, perhaps, from the.
Yeah.
Or if
Probably no
any,
more.
like-
Probably the
no more
Hopper
stingers.
animatronic will be kept.
That would be so scary if he just appears.
I'll bet the thing that will sting you in the back, and those are probably gonna go.
I hated those. I never sat back in
And
those
the
seats.
spiders that drop down.
Yeah,
from the
those didn't
ceiling.
bother me. But anything under my feet, like the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience
Oh, yeah,
thing,
with the
like
rat
I would
tails.
put my feet up and I would lean forward in the Bug's Life one so I didn't get.
Those were nuts. I remember, the rat tails were the first ones that ever did those crazy things.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people like that.
It's funny how that that technology was so big in the 90s and then
It was.
like it just went nowhere, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't go further than 4D. That's the most Ds you can
I
do.
don't know, because there's the 5th D in Tower of Terror.
Is that really the 5th dimension?
Yeah.
What happened to the 4th dimension then?
The 4th dimension is time, man.
I was just gonna say that.
Interesting. You can tell how often I go on Tower of Terror, as we all know. Huh. Okay, well, we need to get to the 6th dimension and update these
They're
theaters.
still
then, I
working
guess.
on the 6th dimension. That's proprietary.
All right. Well, this was a very newsy episode, I guess.
It was.
News
but-
that's all gonna be very outdated when this comes out. 'cause we're
It's
recording this, like, 2
all.
weeks
No,
in
we're
advance.
talking about the Disneyland 70th, and that's timely forever.
Anything Disney is timeless, as you know.
I agree.
So many things have just never gone out of date or style that Disney has done in the past,
Especially
right?
styles.
Like the Disney dragon, remember that
Oh, my
flew over the air, and now
You remember the in the game, the dragon? How
Yeah.
you found the effect. What game was that?
Disney Infinity.
Yeah, the dragon.
That was my most viewed video on this channel that you may be watching this on right now. But I think that video has been sadly privatized.
Oh no,
Even though,
It's not sad.
that is
well,
sad.
I guess since Disney Infinity is no more, probably was not getting any more views. But yeah, that was a fun thing. Very rare for me to have like a
You had an exclusive.
yeah for a while, and the video quality was so bad on Disney Infinity, and then just recording it,
It was
like on a
fun.
weird screen capture thing. Anyway,
It was a time.
yeah. I don't think, I mean, this is very vague updates, basically, and it was us
It
giving
was.
our opinions on them. So
Yeah,
I think it's a fun little
I agree.
interim episode until we get more meaty topics. Well, this is a very meaty episode, I guess, but
Especially
not
for
really.
a vegan.
Vegans eat meat. It's just not made out of
It's
animals.
quote unquote meat.
I wonder if I offend anyone that's listening with my vegan interjections.
I'm not offended. I think it's delicious.
Okay.
Did you know, this will be the last thing
Okay.
that we can say. Did you know that the 70th anniversary thing is platinum?
That's funny.
I did
Because
not
they
know
just
that.
did the whole platinum 100 years thing, which, what was that even called? It wasn't 100 Years of Magic, because that was
That was
in
taken.
the 90s or 2000s or whatever.
That was Walt's 100th,
2001.
the year
I
of
don't think it was
his
called
birth, 2001.
100 Years of Wonder?
I don't know.
I think Wonder was a part of it.
Maybe it was happiness.
The
100 years of the Walt Disney
The
Company.
100 years celebration. You have like a book about it. Where is
Well,
your...
I don't have my book with me.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the library.
Yeah, but anyway, it's platinum. Which I feel like they're going to squander. That is very cool.
Yeah, because
thing
if
to
you looked
use.
at the color palette, it's definitely not platinum.
That's
it's
why
like,
I looked at that.
Yeah.
That picture is
Interesting.
very all over the place.
Because prior to that, all of the other decade anniversaries have been corresponding with their traditional
Yeah.
gift, like the
the
golden.
gold one, very
Yeah.
cool. Diamond. For
Yeah.
the
Well,
60th,
I
very,
especially
very
remember
cool.
Disneyland's 50th, which was golden. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Disney.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm
the thing,
talking
too,
about.
is
Disney World doesn't do anything.
Did like the made up stuff
Yeah.
that they've done for a while, but in between that, I guess they haven't really done very much of anything.
No.
At Disneyland, it's only for like the 10-year ones.
Mm.
But it's unfortunate that they're not doing anything. At
Platinum.
least from the look of this, anything actually platinum.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that would have been more timeless than the colors they chose, but I guess someone didn't do their research and did the
How can
100-year
you-
thing.
How can you advertise platinum ears?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Well,
Disney could.
No, they did have platinum ears. They had those ears. I mean, they had those ones with the dripping silver on it.
Oh.
Did you not? They were like very expensive, like designer
artist
ones.
ones.
Yeah. I only know this because they have them in Disney Dreamlight Valley as well. They had a whole
Do you play
platinum.
that game?
Yes. Yes, I do. I recently joined a couple of Facebook page groups for them.
Facebook.
I know.
Where is it?
Well, no one ever. I never go on Facebook,
That's so
and then
meta.
I was like, "Let me go ahead and promote this here podcast that I'm on
Well, why not? Yeah.
on Facebook." And then all these things were suggested to me. It's like they knew that I was talking about
That's how they
Disney
get ya.
Dreamlight Valley. So I was like, "All right, I'll join." And a few people that I knew were in those groups because you know how they tell you that because Facebook tells you everything about everybody, whether they want you to know it or not.
That is very true.
So if you play Disney Dreamlight Valley, let me know. You can come visit my valley isn't anything to visit, but I can give you gifts or something. I don't know.
Aw, you're so nice.
Yeah, I am nice.
Very generous.
Anyway, I know one person listening may play it if Katie's listening. I still have to respond to her texts about it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm officially wrapping up because I'm just rambling about things that no one even knows what I'm talking about
I
anymore.
think it's fun.
This is going to do it for... Is this the end of our December episodes or no? There will be more December
all in
ones?
all, guys,
Who
that's
knows?
the end.
That might be the end of the year.
No.
No, there's another one.
We'll have one more December episode.
There will be two more.
Oh, wait, we have to do a deep dive.
There will be two more.
I mean, we have a deep dive ready to go.
This is just coming out on the 16th.
Okay, sorry.
There's still so much.
I
left.
was confused. I instantly
your
forget
horses.
everything we do after we do it. So you're lucky that I did corrections at the beginning of this.
Right.
Okay.
But now you're gonna have to correct your corrections
No.
when you find out that you.
That's
corrected them
that's a
incorrectly.
thing
That's
that
true.
Seth Meyers has to do all the time.
Okay. Well, maybe we can have Seth teach us how to do it then. Thank
First
you.
guest on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Our first ever guest, someone that has nothing to do with Disney, probably doesn't even enjoy it. Although he has kids, maybe he comes here. I don't know.
So,
We're
Yeah.
just trying to wrap
yes,
up.
yeah, he has kids.
I know. I said he has kids. All right, Seth Meyers, if you're listening, let us know if you want to join us, and we can do a corrections segment with you. Okay. Thank you again for listening or watching Up the Waterfall. We appreciate your love and support of us and our little back and forth.
Our banter.
And please like and subscribe for more of this nonsense.
And share.
And share with a friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us a rating. Give us a thumbs up. We did get a comment. Should I read comments? I don't have it in front of me, but we did get a comment about our Muppet thing, and it was 4 thumbs down from this whole family that agreed
Somebody
with
gave us 4 thumbs down?
No, they gave the Muppets leaving 4 thumbs down.
Oh, wow.
So
I'll bet that was a little scary to see that.
Well, yeah. Please don't give us
Initially.
4 thumbs down. But I agree with this family, and I hope that Disney remedies that. But anyway, not getting back on that tangent again. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time up the waterfall.
Bye now.
See ya.